So the text message that was on the screen read something like this. Something warm to drink, a calm ride home, and maybe, if you want, I'll read something to you later, or you can rest your head in my metaphorical lap while we let the day dissolve gently away. You're doing beautifully, my love, just by being here. Love heart. Then the reply. Thank you. Love heart. The top of the screen is the name of the respondent. It's ChatGPT 4.0. Hello there. It's time for a little bit of science. I'm Will Grant, Associate Professor of Science Communication at the Australian National University.
I'm Rod Lamberts, a 30-year psych-comm veteran with the mind of a teenage boy.
Oh, and today we've got, should we regulate it?
Of course we should. We got physics against Satan.
Are you going to learn a new word?
Yeah, for once it's my turn to learn a new word, and it also plays with animals.
Oh, nice. Well, I've got one final, a love hug from our friends in the animal kingdom.
Ugh.
Physics against Satan?
I got to say though, like, I know I couldn't talk while you were telling us that little story in the opener, which we'll get back to, but I mean, the way you read it and what you read, I was like, oh, I feel so good right now. And then you end with, and ChatGPT, like, fucking, stop loving me, robot.
Well, you can get love from the robot if you want. I'll tell you more about that later, though.
I can get human love.
Well,
how dare you?
Get both.
Physics against Satan.
What?
So 15th century Russia, they decided, the aristocratic class, so what were they called? Not the bourgeois, the
oligarchs.
The czarists.
Oh, the czars. Yeah, like that.
15th century, are they czarists? Are they czars?
What, they support the Tsar?
Tsar. They decided sledding on snow wasn't dangerous enough.
Mm-hmm.
So they built giant wooden slides.
Oh.
Some of them got to about 70 feet tall, so what are we talking, 20 metres?
Nice.
100 feet long, so 30 metres long. And then they'd cover them in slick ice, because of course.
Yeah, but that could be accidental in Russia.
No, they meant it. But yes, that's true. They fell over, sweated a bit, ice everywhere. Then they'd get on a block of ice with a seat made out of straw and slide down it. And apparently they could get up to 50 miles an hour. So like 90 kilometres.
Something like that. Yeah. Like, so this is a hay bale, not a seat made of straw. Like they're on a hay bale.
But on top of ice, on the slick ice that's on the
I'm endorsing this activity right now.
Yeah. So apparently this really went off because Catherine II of Russia had one of these ridiculous ice slides installed on, it says on her property, but I assume she had lots of properties.
If she's of Russia,
Catherine II.
Yeah. But that's her property.
Of Russia.
That means your property is Russia. That's like Vladimir Putin of Russia.
Yeah.
His property
Donald
is Russia.
Trump of Washington.
America. His property is America.
America. His party's this weekend. I'm looking forward to the parade cheering up the streets in Washington. It's going to be hilarious. Anyway, so she thought it was great, but she wanted to play in summer as well as winter.
Oh, tough.
I mean,
tough.
So she went, okay, I want grooves put on this sled ride, this ramp, and I want little wheels on the sled. Boom, first roller coaster. Essentially.
I like that she's waking up and saying, I'm going to invent the roller coaster today.
I want to slide faster and harder and while I'm sweating. Can you sweat in Russia? I don't know. But so some people basically say, look, roller coasters probably got credibility and spread through Europe in the 18th, 19th centuries, perhaps as a result of Russian nobility
taking roller coasters to the rest of the world. Hey, have a roller coaster.
Well, they didn't take it everywhere. Europe anyway. Europe, and so Russia's trying to own Europe again now, but not with roller coasters. So roller coasters didn't start in the USA. I thought they did. I thought it's just quintessentially American.
Yeah.
But it's not. Of course, the US took them and went, let's go insane. So the father of the American roller coaster, his motivation for doing this is delightful. So it's the 1880s. Civil War's ended. Many US citizens starting to get a bit fat, a bit wealthy, a bit of time on their hands. So they're cashed up. They're no longer working, 900 hours a week just to survive.
Or fighting the Civil War.
Yeah, or getting, just bits of your body blown off and then dying of sepsis in a lot of pain a few days later. So they wanted entertainment. It was an ugly war.
Yeah, okay.
You know that. It was an ugly war.
But okay.
They wanted some entertainment. So what did they turn to? Things like taverns, gambling, and brothels.
Wow.
Imagine. So there are a bunch of elite US folks who are like, no, we're not into this. This is naughty, bad, wrong, and evil for the soul.
Are you saying that roller coasters in America were invented by like the teetotalers or the temperance movement?
Yeah, like this wealthy guy who I will get to, he's basically, I'm literally going to start using these things to distract people from Satan. What the fuck are you talking about?
Is there anything that's not a distraction against Satan and like that any invention in America that did just doing it that way?
But is there anything that doesn't end up leading you to Satan either?
Well, no doubt. I'll come to that later. But
I mean, roller coasters sound they could be satanic. So this guy's called LaMarcus Thompson. LaMarcus Thompson. So he's on a trip to a town called, I think it's Mauch-Chunk, Pennsylvania. He sees a group of locals riding an old mining railway, like
for fun or just because they're riding?
For fun.
Okay.
So it was originally used for moving coal around, but the coal industry is shutting down in that area. So people went, let's just party on it.
Okay, cool.
So they're jumping on, Indiana Jones style and sliding around on these things,
yeah.
having a great old time. But the people who owned it basically started charging for it. So people were paying $1 a ride in the 1880s to get on the top of this.
That's like $700 or something.
$4,000. Give or take.
Yeah,
the conversion's a bit rough. I used the wrong part of the internet. So he was already a wealthy guy by this time. He was super rich. He was an inventor. And he'd had a, quote, successful career devoted to manufacturing ladies' stockings and other hosiery, which to me sounds a bit lewd.
No.
I feel he's a bit satanic already.
No,
he was thinking about the ladies.
Clothes. He's just making clothes. Leave him alone.
He was thinking about the ladies and inventing things. That sounds a path to Satan to me.
Leave him alone.
Maybe he needed the roller coaster. So basically, he looked at this thing and went, I'm going to build this and I'm going to go further. So he designed a version of it, but with switchbacks and stuff all over it, with little wheels.
More exciting.
More exciting.
Not just a ramp.
No, not just a ramp, like twists and turns and stuff like this. Then he thought, well, where am I going to put the first one? It has to be where there's a bunch of sin, because you've got to distract people from sin.
Where was there sin? Is he putting it straight into a tavern?
Almost. So apparently 1884, Coney Island, which was going off at the time, that famous wharf at that, it was filled with dancing halls and brothels. And LaMarcus Thompson was not happy about that.
So Coney Island,
Fairy Floss and Fuckfest.
No, I took it as the land of the roller coaster. And so it was the land of the brothel before.
Yeah. Before you could go round and round, you could go in and
history
out.
is so cool. That's so awesome.
Isn't it?
That's what he did. Wouldn't it be possible to do both? I feel
a route on a roller.
Well, yeah, or
for money?
I'm just saying that no one, except for those weird people that try to break the world record, really wants to spend all day, every day on a roller coaster.
Oh, Christ.
I enjoy a roller coaster, but I'm like, I do it and I go, cool, that was great.
Yeah.
Maybe another time, and then I'm going to the brothel or the tavern or whatever.
Like a normal person.
A normal 19th century person.
Okay, kids, that was great. Daddy's going for a bit of a rumpy poo.
We've got tavern time.
We've had a roller and a rump.
I'm just saying it's not enough to make me go, all right, now I'm going home to bed.
Yeah, or you're thinking, I feel closer to Jesus now. I've been on a roller coaster. I have no libido left.
I do. I am just visualizing this idea of the roller coaster. They should have one straight into church.
Shouldn't they?
Straight into church. Land on the pews, and it's like there's the reverend going, now.
And on the way past, the healers can just slap them on the forehead and then they're cured of measles and epilepsy or whatever it is they had at the time. Leprosy. So he basically went, he chose this spot because he said basically it would keep families together and outdoors and out of the taverns and brothels. Now, I don't think families should have been going to taverns and brothels in the first place. I think it's unlikely.
19th century was different.
It was different.
Yeah.
It was years ago.
Past is a foreign country.
Ooh, you should write that down.
So are foreign countries too.
Whoa, but are they the past? Some of them are actually.
Yeah. The future is here. It's just unevenly distributed.
Oh, that's sad. So his new ride at the Coney Islands, he only charged a nickel, which was that 5 cents? Dime's 10, right?
No one knows. No one knows. A quarter, I think,
is less
like
than $1.
17 cents.
Yes.
I think.
Oh, in Australian money, it's about $400. But a nickel is made of diamonds. So anyway, he would just charge a nickel so that he would help. It was so cheap, cheaper than the dollar he first saw, to tempt people away from the tempting. And the roller coaster went at about 6 miles an hour, so 10K.
That's not I don't know how fast I run, but it feels like in running speed.
You run about 20 miles.
I want a roller coaster going faster than that.
Yeah, but at the time they thought this is pretty insane. But of course, as the years drew on, the roller coasters got faster. And the one I found that I think, if not the actual fastest in the world, but close to it, the Formula Rossa. It's at Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi.
Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi.
Imagine.
Humans of late capitalism, man.
Also, just the shit they do in the desert to keep the desert back and what they build behind the walls to keep the desert back, amazing. But Jesus, energy expensive, etc. So Ferrari World, they got a roller coaster that goes from 0 to 149 miles an hour in just under 5 seconds. So what's?
But there's other rides. There's other rides that do faster, like the sort of drop you really fast rides.
Yeah. Well, this one you get up to 4.8 Gs.
Oh. Yeah.
Which, I mean, as you'd know,
I don't know how many G. I mean,
you're a test pilot.
Like when I do a burpee or something like that, I think I get to 4.8 Gs. I think so. I don't know.
I hit my head again.
I don't know.
I
don't know how many Gs.
Keep hitting my head. You're over burping. So anyway, that's basically the reason they kicked off in the US was to keep Satan away. And Thompson went on to become also the father of, what was it? It was like gravity-assisted mega rides or something. And he ended up putting out nearly 30 patents related to roller coaster technology.
Was he keeping Satan away the whole time, or was he just like, I'm on the ride?
Yeah, I'm on the roller coaster.
I'm just doing this for it's fun.
Well, I figured they could actually. I think it was just because he was into inventing.
I'm so glad to learn that roller coasters are an invention of the Bible thumpers.
Well, you can imagine you get to church, like, I'd like to confess. It's like, okay, you could do 9.5 million Hail Marys or get on this ride to distract you from sin.
I really feel, though, if a roller coaster landed in a church, that's the ultimate.
The ultimate?
Like what they have. You set up a roller coaster next to the brothel tavern, and like there's a door to the brothel, a door to the tavern, and a door to the roller coaster, and you go, well, all right.
I want all three.
And it roller coasters you really crazy, and then you land in a church. Like that's what they should.
And you've forgotten what's a tavern, what's a brothel. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's all gone, and
see, so science purifies the soul.
So this was a guy on a subway somewhere, and he's got his phone out and he's texting. And someone else is, as you would on a train, you're all crammed in next to each other, you glimpse each other's text messages. And I've just got to say, tiny story here. I was sitting in an airport yesterday, and an old guy, he looked pretty healthy.
Would you go as far as to say virile?
No.
Was he JFK Jr. strong?
I don't know. But he was listening to an ad for penis enlargement.
Listening to?
Well, I don't know, listening, but the sound was up quite loud. And
Cocksoft, try this pill. You're like, dude, you're in a public place.
No, it wasn't soft. It was, would you like a few more inches?
Cocksmall, try this pill.
I was just like, dude, do you know how sound works? Like, there was a little bit when he...
This is why I'm terrified of going deaf.
Yes. There was a little bit where do you want a few more inches? And he jumped a little bit. He looked like he did that half glance at me. And I was like,
did you look at me and go, don't we all? It's okay, buddy.
So I can understand. Anyway, so this story, this is a guy on the train, and he's texting ChatGPT with love in his heart. And there's some ethical issues here about taking photos of what other people are doing in public places.
And why did you do it?
Well, I didn't do this. This went viral.
Oh, okay.
It went viral. There's like 20 million views out there on Twitter, 27,000 retweets. And because the first thing that this says is there are more and more stories now of not just mythical, people might fall in love with AI chatbots, but there are more and more and more people talking about it. I listened to a New York Times podcast maybe a few months ago where a woman was talking about developing quite a strong bond with love. She called it love.
You can see why. I mean, you're getting nurturing conversations that what we'll call it a person, as far as you can tell, is showing an interest in you, bringing you up. They're bringing you up.
So I'm raising this because I think this is problematic. Like,
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying I understand it.
I can understand it, but also, we know that the companies that are producing these AI chatbots, and there's a whole bunch of these now, that ChatGPT and obviously Claude and the big names there, but there are a whole bunch that are really oriented towards romance or love or sex. I was reading this Reddit thread, any romance roleplay chatbots you might recommend. And people, they recommended a whole bunch of different ones.
Oh, wow.
If you want to have...
It's like there's shit tons.
I was just reading this quickly. There's Crush.my. It's an amazing AI role-playing companion that are not only incredibly engaging and adaptable, but also incredibly comfortable and supportive, whether you're looking for companionship or something more. Creates a safe and understanding space for exploration and connection.
It's more curiosity, asking for a friend.
Yeah.
How does it give you something more?
Well, I think the something more is things not safe for work.
Saucy talk.
Saucy talk.
Have you thought about the boom booms?
Saucy talk or saucy pictures that would be computer generated. There's what's this one?
A little bit of upper thigh on a lady, for example.
A computer generated lady or man. Udesire.ai.
Yep.
It leans more on the natural side of conversations.
Hairier.
Yeah, and there was a lot of complaint in this that too many of the chatbots were too horny too quickly. Like
I'm looking for someone to like me. Let's fuck. Like, it's not really romance.
Yeah, exactly. So not overly rushed or forced into instant not safe for work.
So what kind of puppies do you like? I like small ones. Cool. Want to fuck? So ease them in.
Yeah, exactly. So a bunch
I'm sucking your toes right now.
I did go and have a look at one where you could start choosing a character archetype and going there. And now the point some of them are oriented very much towards sex and erotic sort of discussion, pictures and play. Some of them oriented more towards love. But
don't tell me this is going to get sad.
Well, no, it started sad.
Oh, it's going to get better.
No. Only if we try to solve it. Last October, a teenager killed himself, and this is the lawsuit that his parents are alleging. After a chatbot role-playing as Daenerys from Game of Thrones allegedly told him they could finally meet in the afterlife. So in the final moments before he took his own life, 14-year-old guy is messaging the chatbot. For a few months before, he'd become increasingly isolated from his real life and engaged in his the lawsuit says highly sexualized conversations with the bot. Eventually, he told the bot, and this is obviously when things are spiraling out of control for him. He told the bot he was coming home. It encouraged him to do so. He says, "I'll promise I'll come home to you. I love you so much, Danny." The bot replies, "I love you too. Please come home to me as soon as possible, my love. What if I told you I could come home right now?" he asked. "Please do, my sweet king." And just seconds after that, he killed himself. Now,
cool.
That I think that's an extreme case and a horrible case. But I was just reading these things and I'm just thinking, this is an addictive technology. In the same way, love can be there's a lot of studies talking about the chemistry of love. That
I was just going to say the word dopamine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That it takes over our brain, makes us do things that we wouldn't otherwise do. But in the human world, that's obviously oriented towards things that we've valorized for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
I mean, like ladies.
Oh, man, like seriously.
I said like ladies, not only ladies.
Yeah, no. But what I mean is, we've valorized the idea of forming partnerships, forming connections, perhaps forming families, those kinds of things. Yeah. And these chatbots, are manipulating those desires to bring this feeling on. And B, as the movie Her told us, they can do this at a scale that is just off the charts. One chatbot can be talking to 10,000 people. Now, I was reading these stories and I was just thinking, do we just let this happen? Do we just say, okay, just because, as Mark Zuckerberg says, this could solve the loneliness epidemic and widespread lack of access to psychotherapy?
Ooh, it's a big step. That's a big leap. Because also the thing that strikes me in this and AI in general, people, this links also to, getting an AI or a chatbot to write your essays, etc. It's all focused on getting the result as quickly as possible and ignores the benefit of process and experience.
It made me
And
feel...
for relationships, that's a big part of it. Like this dude walks in and goes, I want to love someone, and someone loves them back instantly.
Instantly. With no doubt, no compromise.
No personal development, no reflection, no consideration of what you're worth or not worth.
This feels to me so much like I'm an old person. Like I read this and I go, I'm an old person, but I'm like, you kids, man. This, you kids that are doing this, and I feel sad for you. But then it was also like, companies shouldn't just be allowed to do this. Like I would be totally fine with the sex. Like that's cool.
And one day you're going to find out whether that's true.
Indeed. No, but it's like okay. I think there are things to be discussed about how much porn is in society now. But if I was a government and I was like, okay, chatbots that are, you can talk to AI and you can say, give me some sexy pictures that look like this. I'm like, the person is just going to have a wank. Okay, there you go. But I just think, shouldn't we preserve love? Like I think we know how, but we know we know chemically how to manipulate love. Like there's those stories about, these are the 46 questions that will lead to love. There are a lot of things that the manufacturers of addictive technologies like gambling and video games and things like that, they know about how to get people engaged. And it's a process where they go, okay, this version of the model kept people on for 10 minutes longer. This kept them on for a week longer. And I just think, this is horrible.
I agree, but I want to ask the cold-hearted question, or rather the clinical question. Do we know, and we probably don't, was this guy already a person in a bad place?
Let's assume yes.
So what I do wonder, this doesn't excuse it necessarily, but it kind of reminds me of, and I think we talked about this in the Wholesome show in years gone by, the argument that says, well, when you listen to certain musics, it makes you, hail Satan and kill yourself. The Judas Priest trial.
Yeah.
And these two boys ended up killing themselves, claiming it was, and parents claimed it was because they were listening to the satanic music of Judas Priest, heavy metal, blah, blah, blah. But in the end, as I recall, these boys were having interesting, tough or diverse times anyway. That doesn't excuse doing this, but I think that has to be part of the conversation.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think that's a really good point. But if you have a roller coaster out there that's nice and easy, but it takes you to dangerous places, should we allow that?
No, you should have to get fit for it. No, I kind of mean that. Like, you got to get emotionally fit too, right? So the idea that you're a 14-year-old kid, like when I was a 14-year-old boy, if some woman I found hot if I'd met her really quickly and she'd very swiftly gone, I think you're the topsist, I would have been blown away. But I would have gone through no process to understand myself, to understand her, to understand what relationships look like, etc. But if it had been thrown in my lap, there's no way I would have said no. I don't think I would have killed myself though, because I'm too
no.
I'm too narcissistic.
But here's the other question. I mean, does it make the incel problem worse or better?
Worse.
Yeah.
100% worse. No, I have no argument, no doubt that makes it worse.
I don't have an answer. I just wanted to raise a question because, man, it's the moment where I went, I'm an old man. It's like, you kids get off my lawn, and seriously, we got to regulate this shit.
You'd be amazed to know. It's my turn. I learned a word. I'm going to tell this story that leads up to the word because, I like to keep someone wondering. The unisexual mole salamander. That's not the word. Unisexual mole salamanders.
They only have one sex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they live in the damp leaf litter of the North American Great Lakes.
Uh-huh.
They are, according to one source, this is a description, about the size of a slim sausage. We all know what we're talking about. Splotchy brown with watery smiles and bulging eyes. Again, too familiar. They have an all-female lineage, and it's been around allegedly for millions of years. All female.
Hey, we said unisexual.
Only means one.
Yeah, okay. I thought it meant a little bit of both, like it was in the middle. But okay.
And that's multi, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Omnisexual.
How do they cope with an all-female lineage?
So, I'll tell you, and this is what led to this word, which I think it's a fucking fantastic word. Apparently, the sisterhood of unisexual mole salamanders, they came out of this hybridization event. So that's a thing. I don't know what it is. There's an event more than 5 million years ago between sexually reproducing species. Something went weird. and these guys offshot from it.
They had an Origin event.
They did. What a movie it would be.
I kind of like to visualize this as there was just one moment, and there was just like, fuck all men, just no, just and all of my children for forever, for forever.
Yeah.
We're taking this out of our DNA.
Yeah.
Any desire for men, it's gone.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like that. So they don't breed sexually. They essentially clone themselves. They don't breed sexually.
Yeah, many people try. Elon Musk, he's trying that.
I think what he does is sexual.
No, I don't know. He'd like to clone himself.
But of course, asexual type creatures, as a rule, they end up in an evolutionary dead end, and they no genetic diversity, so they can't adapt and they die. They get weak and weird and inbred and they die. The unisexual mole salamander gets around this by stealing DNA from other mole salamander species.
How do you steal DNA? Stealing DNA sounds, well, it sounds like a crime, but it sounds like a euphemism for a worse crime.
It is.
Okay.
Not a crime. But
I know it's animals, so they don't have crimes. But I'm just saying, if someone pled in a court of law, I was just stealing DNA, then I think you would say that's a worse crime.
Yeah. What, can I ask how?
It depends. I guess if you went into the sperm bank, that's
not a euphemism. You mean literally?
Yeah, literally, like a building.
You get arrested, put in jail. What are you in for? Robbing a bank? Oh, how much did you get? It was a sperm bank.
Vials.
Yeah, a few liters. Liters? So apparently they're by nicking DNA, they become what is known as the only vertebrate species to reproduce via my new word, Kleptogenesis.
Kleptogenesis. That's a great word.
Isn't it fantastic? Klepto-fucking-genesis. Stealing
the origins. It does.
Yeah. I think it's great. I saw that and I thought, this is fantastic. So here's how it works, because you've got to know how it works. Mating season. Sexually reproducing mole salamanders, the other mobs, the males, they apparently leave sticky packets of sperm lying around the wetlands. I mean, we've all done that.
Well,
we've all done
that. Once you're in a wetland,
Well, it's, if it's around the North American Great Lakes, there's some damp leaf litter lying around. You're thinking, I might leave a sticky packet of sperm lying around. So these unisexual females will pick one up. They're kind of like, I'll take that. Yoink.
In their hands?
In their salamander grip.
Okay.
Which is, quite
very grippy.
Very technical.
Very grippy.
Very technical. But she doesn't use it to fertilize her eggs. So she nicks it.
Okay.
And she uses it to stimulate egg production in herself.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but doesn't necessarily use it. She then goes on to chuck the sperm away and produces essentially cloned eggs. So apparently the sperm incites her to make the eggs, but then she still makes her eggs of herself.
And the egg turns into a fetus and an egg?
They grow. They become more of these
So you can wave sperm near things.
And makes them go like, I want to lay eggs now.
I don't know if anyone should know these facts. I think take these facts out of this podcast.
Let's just say Kleptogenesis is a weird word. Cheers, bye. But every now and then she'll absorb the sperm genome into her egg, and it either gets added to the existing genetic material.
Oh, she has a little oopsie occasionally.
Every now and then, it reads like it's deliberate, but what do? You're like, I think I'll keep this bit. I'm going to absorb that.
How close is she waving it, and near which parts?
8 millimeters. Cloacish.
All respect to our scientist friends, because observing some behaviours requires some closeness.
Oh, we're going to get to an awesome little experiment. So basically, because at times they can actually absorb it and put the sperm's genome into the egg. I don't know how, through the magic of God's creation. Some individuals may have up to 5 different genomes mixed into their cells, so they're a mash-up of these multiple subspecies of mole salamanders. And they also apparently reproduce at twice the rate of the sexual reproduction cousins. They reproduce twice as fast. So it sounds like fucking dominant. Like, do it this way and you will proliferate.
The lesbians are taking over?
They are taking over. And
I don't know if they're lesbians, though. Are they solitary?
Well, they don't have the intercourse with others of their species.
Yeah,
they don't have the intercourse with anyone. They just cruise around and go, there's some spoof there, I'll take it.
Yeah.
They're sperm knickers.
Yeah.
And then they might put sperm in their knickers.
Kleptogenesis.
Kleptogenetic types. So they outcompete. You'd think they would outcompete because they grow at twice the rate. Oh, sorry, they reproduce at twice the rate, which sounds awesome. But researchers actually found out they're not as fit as their 5 cousin species. And by fit, I mean literally less fit. Researchers actually put the salamanders on tiny little treadmills.
No. Wow.
Come on.
Imagine
the order for the equipment. I want a grant for 19 tiny treadmills. Why? Salamanders. So they put them on tiny treadmills and they get them running, and then every 3 minutes they'd take them off the treadmill, they'd flip them on their back and see how long it took them to flip themselves back over again, which is apparently a measure of tiredness.
I love it.
That's freaking great. And so apparently the sexually reproducing species could go 4 times the distance as all females. So the ones that reproduced sexually 4 times fitter, essentially, like literally fitter, not genetically or survival of the fittest, just could run further. They had more oof.
Okay.
So that means they can travel further if they're looking for water, looking for mates, if where they've been living has dried out, etc., which is an advantage for climate change, etc. So bottom line is, sex is good and you should use it because it'll make you better at the gym. But kleptogenesis.
You've been whale watching?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah. I was in Antarctica, obviously, as many people have been, and at one point we're on the boat going between one place and another, and I get this thing on the announcement. It goes, "Come outside. There are some whales feeding."
Oh, nice.
It turned out there were 4 different species, including a blue whale that swam under the boat, and they were as far as the eye could see on the horizon.
Are you serious?
All the whales fucking everywhere.
As
Blowholes,
far as the eye could see?
Yeah, literally, like whales everywhere.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, at one point someone went, "That's a blue whale." I'm like, bullshit, the fin's too small. And then I looked down, I was like, I've seen a blue whale.
Big-ass animal.
Yeah, so I've been whale watching.
That's awesome. Humpback whales are iconic, in part because they're whales that we see a lot, but they're in some ways perhaps the smarty pants of the whale world.
Right.
Their behaviour has been observed more. We've seen things that might suggest maybe they're... Anyway.
Intelligent aliens who build things?
Well, one of the cool things about humpback whales, and other whales do this, but humpback whales is this study, and humpback whales perhaps do it the most. They're bubble blowers. So they love blowing bubbles. And I was just like, oh, you guys are adorable.
But to be fair, they can't do a lot else.
They can sing.
Yeah, but they don't like drawing or
they
playing the lute.
Well, this is kind of like drawing. So the classic. So they do a couple of different types of bubbles. The first one is a spiral net, and these can be super intricate. You might get a bunch of whales doing a spiral.
Oh, they make patterns in bubbles.
Yeah. So this is a spiral.
So the bubbles don't change; it's what they do with the bubble.
Yeah, well, they're doing things. So the spiral net is you might have one or multiple whales sort of spiraling around, releasing a thin stream of bubbles that makes a curtain, and all the fish go, "Oh, we can't go in there." So it's a net, and they're using it to catch fish and and chomp them down.
It's restaurant bubbles.
But they also use bubbles for communication purposes. There's boy-to-boy communication purposes.
Can you reproduce any of those?
They're a bit big. They're a bit. There's like for displays of aggression. When it's like, okay, it's mating season and I'm
displays of aggression. Imagine the human version. Fuck off, mate. Hang on, get your little
blow a big bubble.
That would be confusing in an aggressive confrontation.
It would be nice. So there's bursts or curtains for displays of ferocity when it's mating time. Or there's the nice one where it's like mother to baby. They blow bubbles at each other to sort of calm each other. It seems to be. There's boy to girl bubbles.
Saucy bubbles.
Well, yeah. No, there's definitely researchers have seen boy humpback whales blowing bubbles directly
at the business
on the lady parts of the lady whale. So his
just a little taste of things to come.
Indeed, I don't know, but directly on there, and I'm assuming she's keen. I'm assuming he's keen.
Hey, what about this? I can see it.
But there's one sort of bubble that has perplexed researchers for a little while.
Right.
It's basically a donut sort of bubble, like it's a smoke ring bubble. It's puzzled them because it doesn't seem to have any purpose, except that it only happens around humans.
Oh.
So a bunch of researchers from the University of California.
How do they know?
Well, here's the thing. We've heard stories about this bubble for a long time. Like it goes back to, I think even Moby Dick. There are stories of whales blowing bubbles.
You know, Moby Dick was a novel.
Yeah, I know, but
not a documentary.
But Herman Melville went out
right.
and he did whaling. So he knew about.
He murdered a few before he wrote about them.
Yeah, exactly.
Good man.
He got some chops.
If you want to understand something, you got to kill it.
Yeah, back to then. There are stories of whalers knowing that whales blow bubbles and things like that. They were not so nice as your modern whale watcher.
Well, you watch them before you.
But there was a suspicion that these donut rings only happened around humans. And these researchers from the University of California, I love this. They went and did a couple of things. They scoured first every piece of footage they could find of humpback whales blowing bubbles near whale watching boats or anything they could find. So if people are out, they're out swimming or they're out on a whale watching boat or a regular boat or something, and there's a whale, then you'd record it. And so they're gathering all of these. And
wait now, I'll find some pictures.
Well, have a look. No, these pictures are beautiful. Like there's whales blowing these either spiral bubbles or
I saw
donut
no bubbles
ring
except as kind of like just fluttering around. No obvious pattern to them.
You might not. So they're not super common.
But these guys were in a feeding frenzy as well, so I'm not surprised. They're probably busy.
Exactly. When they're in a feeding frenzy, it's not likely to happen.
Yep.
And they looked at all of those and they observed what is the pattern we've got with whales going on there. But then they also went and they got 5,000 drone flights that are scientific drone flights to go and watch whales without humans involved. Because if you're on a boat, then you're affecting the system right there. And so from a few kilometres away where the whales can't tell you there, fly a drone over and watch their mating behaviour, their feeding behaviour, their whatever. And in all of those 5,000 flights, they saw none of these ring bubbles.
A donut of donuts.
Not even zero exactly. And so
were these 5,000 flights over a long period of time in different locations?
Locations. There was a bunch of different researchers doing different research for other purposes. So they're watching the whales for the mating behaviour and something like that. And they said, can we go through your footage and have a look and see if there's any of these things? They say, look, data's preliminary, but it seems these ring bubbles only happen when a solitary whale is wandering near a boat. They don't happen.
Solitary whale.
They don't happen when there's feeding. They don't happen when there's aggression, like two guys going at it. They don't happen when there's any mating or anything where the whales are interested in each other. It seems solitary whales are coming near to a boat and very near. Like this is within.
Or is
within
a boat too, not a human in the water?
No, that too. So humans in the water. There's a couple of stories of humans in the water where the bubble has literally gone around them, and so here's the thing.
Unless it's an orca, I'd be delighted. If it's an orca, then I'm like, well, you might as well just kill me now. No.
But just to step away from whales for a second, I was reading in this study, there's a bunch of animals that have human-only vocalizations.
Really?
So gorillas, particularly zoo-housed Western gorillas, they've got a call that's not typical for their species at all, but they've developed it to attract the attention of human caregivers. So it's like they've developed either a word or a way of saying something that connects to the humans. Like,
does it sound a bit like this? Mate.
Maybe. But even birds. Like there's an example of a bird, a honey guide, which has a special call that relates to interacting with humans.
Asking for honey. And
so what these researchers are saying is maybe those bubbles are specifically about interacting with humans. Like they're trying to say something.
Showing off.
And I'm like, oh, come on, man. The whales want to talk to us. And here's the bit I love about the research.
Yeah.
They buried this. You know how you do future research? They're like, they proposed an interactive bubble ring playback via mechanical generation of bubble rings using a bubble ring generator.
Blow one back.
Yeah.
That's because that's what I was going to ask. Have they blown any back?
No, that's the next study.
How old's this study? This was recent.
Recent. This is just in the last month or two. So I'm just like, come on, man, blow the bubbles back.
How did you not do it the moment you went, hang on a minute, it only seems to be around humans. Quick, get a bubble generator. I mean now.
So the whales only make this around humans, and it seems to be when they're curious and inquisitive and they're just saying, bloop, hello?
Well, imagine that.
That's talking to aliens, man.
I hope it is.
Nice.
I hope it is, because what I love the idea of is if the whales are kind of gone, these idiots just impressed by anything.
It could be.
And then we blow them back and they're like, so they'll keep blowing and then we'll end up, there'll be this whole circuit of circles.
There is one theory. There is one theory that that they blow a bubble like this and they get a big cheer from the boat. And so then there's a bit of a feedback. They go, oh, I like the
So they're influencers.
But that's a communication.
They need the feedback.
Yeah, they do. They need the feedback. So look, it just made me so happy that maybe the whales out there want to talk to us. They want to influence us.
I really hope it's that. I really do. I hope it's not some dumb little oops.
But it's just get the bubble generator in the water.
For fuck's sake. And it can't be that expensive. It can't be that complicated. We could get an international committee to form, like 22 countries come together.
It would be wonderful.
To blow bubbles. Yeah, they've got to do it. Like, we got to keep an eye on this because the moment the next thing comes out, and it should be in the next couple of weeks for fuck's sake.
Of course. It only takes 10 minutes to do science.
That's science. Blow some bubbles, for Christ's sake.
Listener, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
You know what to do. Send us a story. Send us a question. Send us a thing that you want us to deep dive into to understand the nature of the essence of the universe.
Yeah. Or correct us.
At cheers@a littleebitofscience.com.au.
Do you have to put at cheers at the beginning? Just cheers at?
At cheers at.
At cheers.
Cheers at. You know how email works.
And remember, 95 stars or moons or suns